Honda isn't exactly a brand you would say is synonymous with mass popularity. Sure, models like the Honda Civic were popular, but compared with manufacturers like Ford and Vauxhall, Honda is just a blip on the radar. In the UK, that is, anyway. Is it about to change with the latest Honda Accord Saloon? Let's take a look at the latest Accord. Now, what Honda have tried to do with this vehicle is draw a line in the sand between cars such as the Vauxhall Insignia and more premium saloons like the Audi A4. And to do that, they've given the car a bit of a stylish makeover, and it certainly is quite a stylish car on the exterior anyway. So, let's take a look at the interior. You can tell that Honda have paid attention to the identity of the Accord with a distinctive front end and headlamp design, as well as an array of creases and contours all over its body. This appeal ultimately makes it look more upmarket. It's quite windy out today. Right, so the interior of the Accord is very, well, Honda. And if you've ever driven a Honda before, you'll know exactly what I mean by this. Now, all the buttons are laid out in quite a clever way. It's all very simple to navigate your way through, and there's soft touch plastics throughout the cabin, so it's quite a comfortable car to sit in, and that's only enhanced by this rather comfortable seat, which has got plenty of adjustments in both the seating and the steering rig, so you won't have any issues in finding yourself comfortable in this car. Now, there's also plenty of different binnacles and storage compartments around the cockpits. We've got two cup holders in the centre, which are fair size and can also be hidden away. Now, we've got a cigarette lighter, it's actually a cigarette lighter. It's not just a 12-volt adapter, sat next to what appears to be an ashtray. Very 90s, but I suppose it'll come in useful for some. Now, the glove box is quite big, it's quite deep, and there's a second shelf in there too. And we've got a centre console which is air conditioned. Now, in here, it's going to be quite difficult to show you this, but we've got a 12-volt adapter, we've got some USB connectivity for your iPod, and an auxiliary input, which is all very, very useful. But if I just grab an auxiliary cable to demonstrate this, if you do want to plug this in, it's quite hard to do with one hand because of the angle. I can't actually see where the input is, so a lot of fumbling about there. So it is very much a two-handed job, which means you've got to kind of lift the flap up with one finger and then get that cable in there, and then eventually your iPod is connected. So that is all a little bit awkward. Now, one thing we've not got in this particular car is an auto dip mirror, and I thought it was a little bit disappointing really, because for a car in this category you really want this, because you're going to be spending quite a bit of time on the motorway, and to have to keep flicking this little, again, rather 90s catch here to get that glare out of your eyes can be a little bit frustrating. So make sure you do get yourself an auto dip mirror in the Accord. So let's take a look at the technology used within this centre console, and as competition is so tight in this particular segment, one key selling point for me anyway would be the tech that's sat right in front of me. And of course, we've got satellite navigation that's displayed on this rather low resolution screen. I must say I was initially quite disappointed with how bright and how clear this display is, and in the bright sunlight you can actually struggle to see what's on this screen. Now, another point that's worth highlighting is we did quite a long journey the other day, 250 miles or so, and there was 4 of us in the car. Now, neither myself, my camera operator, our producer, or our sound recordist could get the sat-nav to speak to us. It obviously does, but I think that's an indication as to how baffling the menu system can be in this particular car, and that's a little bit frustrating because it is such an attractive looking car and the tech is there, it's just not quite as good as some of the other cars in this segment. There are also quite a few useful safety features available, including a vehicle stability system, a lane keep system, and adaptive cruise control, which helps keep a safe distance between you and the car in front. And comfort continues into the back of the car. These seats are very, very comfortable, and I wouldn't mind tackling a 3 or 4 hour journey with ease in the back of this Accord. And it's only enhanced by features such as this centre armrest, which has also got 2 cup holders in. So a very, very comfortable back seats, but it is let down ever so slightly by this rather chunky transmission tunnel that runs throughout the cabin, which can make for quite uncomfortable seating in the middle, because there's very little legroom. And as this centre seat is raised a little bit, when you go round corners, you're definitely going to be squashing the person sat next to you. The boot isn't massive, but it still offers quite a bit of space. However, the sides of the boot seem to extrude into the boot slightly, making the space slightly more narrower. However, unlike many other saloons, the Accord offers 60/40 split seats, adding even more practicality. If you're after a punchy and efficient engine in the Accord, then the 2.2 litre diesel is the one to go for, hands down. It packs 150 brake horsepower and has a 0 to 62 time of 9.6 seconds. However, it still delivers 50 miles per gallon, and when the 2.2 litre diesel is fitted with a 6-speed manual gearbox, you're laughing. Nice and smooth at high speeds on the motorway, definitely more of a long distance car, because when it comes to the likes of urban and city roads, it can feel a little bit bumpy. Like every other saloon out there, its fun to drive factor is always going to be compared to giants like the BMW 3 Series, and the Honda Accord doesn't even come close if we're being honest. All in all, the Honda Accord is a great car. It's stylish, it's comfortable, and it's quite efficient, although its interior isn't as refined as some of its competitors. It still ticks all the saloon boxes. However, it is around £4,000 more expensive than the most popular Ford Mondeo and Vauxhall Insignia models, so make sure the Accord is really for you before you make the plunge. We'd give the Honda Accord 3.5 out of the 5 available Motor Talk stars. The Honda Accord may not be the first saloon that springs to mind for new car buyers, but it will pleasantly surprise you as Honda has clearly focused on its exterior and interior sophistication. Therefore, we award the car 4 stars. For practicality, there's decent passenger space and fold-down seats are some of the perks for the Accord, although its awkward boot shape can be a little bit frustrating. And practicality is a key aspect for a saloon, so for this reason we give its practicality rating 3.5 out of the 5 available stars. Performance. The Accord delivers solid performance with its 2.2 litre diesel. Although its engine range may not be as extensive and impressive as its competitors, it is still quite good. We give its performance 3.5 stars. In terms of ride and handling, the Accord is definitely aimed at more long distance travelling, as it seems to struggle a little bit on some urban roads. We give its ride and handling 3.5 out of the 5 available Motor Talk stars. At £22,765, the Honda Accord is not the most affordable saloon on sale, and when considering that its engine range and running costs are fairly average, you can't help but question why on earth would you buy an Accord over a Mondeo or an Insignia. For this reason, we give its ownership category 3.5 stars. Overall, Honda is definitely on the right track with the Accord, especially in terms of appearance. However, it seems that some fundamentals like engines and interior build quality still need to be looked at. Overall, we give the Honda Accord 3.5 stars.